Okay. So Zianti. Okay, from Hub Technic, yeah. Okay, all right, thank you. Tracy. Let me see, yeah. Tracy. Tracy Law. Okay, right. Talent Found Tech, yes. Good morning. Okay, Safwan from Rotikaya Juniors, yeah. Okay. Okay, and Lin. Okay. Lin is from Agenix Sandran Bahat, right? So, okay. All right, great. So I think we will start the meeting or the training right now. So basically, first of all, can I ask, have you guys created the new Kaki Tangan account on the sign up page already? If you already created, you can type 1 in the chat box. All right. If you have not, then you can type 0. Okay. If you have not, then you can type 0. Huh? Right, Safan already created, huh? Okay. All right. Okay, Amira not yet. Okay, and then Zianti not yet. Okay, and then Lin not yet also. Okay, never mind. All right, Anson Fountains. Okay, all right, not yet. Also already, sorry, Tracy already. Okay, Mr. Ogura, not yet. Okay, no problem. Doreen not yet. Yeah. Okay, all right. Hi, Salvat Malaysia. We just have someone join. Salvat Malaysia. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. And okay, no problem. If you have not created, later on, Nizam will also show you how to create a new account over there. All right. If you already created in the training, later we will show you how to do the settings, the company settings, payroll setting, and so on. Yeah. Okay, Naomi just joined as well. Okay, hi, Naomi. Naomi, if you already created a Kaki Tangan account, you can type 1 in chat box. If you have not, then you just type 0. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So Naomi have not. Yeah. Okay. No problem. Let us start to show you how do we do the creation of the account and also the company settings as well. Hi Nizam. I'm passing over to you. We can share later. No problem. Okay. So Nizam, I pass over to you first.
Right. Thank you, Wilson. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Nizam. I will be your trainer for this onboarding of Kaki Tangan. Okay, let me share with you my screen. Okay, so right. So everyone, welcome. Today, I'm going to show you the onboarding for first time sign up and set up the Kaki Tangan system. All right. Okay. Okay, the content for this one is I will show you at a glance what we offer, and then settings for each module. Okay, actually we have like 4 modules. That is leave, payroll, claims, and also attendance. Right. The first one, of course, we have to set your company's details out first. That is on the settings also. And then I'm going to show you how to add your employee or your staff to the system. You just need to upload it into the system within our template. And then I will be showing you also how to use each module. For example, like leave, how to apply leave, proof, and also the report, and etc. Okay, each module I will show you on how it works and so on. Okay, at a glance, okay, as you know now, within the COVID era and all that, So people sometimes work from the home and all this. So if you don't have system that will help you on organizing your work and all that, then you need to, because you need to upgrade your company today. So a lot of people already on cloud-based system for the upgrading from their current system, whether it's manual or if they use if they use their own server and all that. So more and more people are moving to cloud-based system. So here for payroll, we have our online payroll. It's easy calculation, and then also it makes also an easy payment where you can upload your payroll into the bank that you use. We have quite a lot number of banks that associated with us, around 16 to 17, I think. And then also we can also generate the pay slip, right? So within the system for payroll, calculations very easy, and then you can make the payment straight to the bank, and then you can churn out your pay slip and pass to your employee. Okay, it helps you a lot. And then for claims, again, it's so much easier when you can submit your claims in detail. You can snap a picture of the receipt and then pass it along with, submit along with your claims. And then all these claims are recorded, and then you can see the status, whether the claim is still pending for approval or already approved, or it has made payment. I mean, the finance have made payment for that claims or not. Okay. The other thing is we also have attendance within the mobile phone. So all you need to have is your mobile phone in order to record all the employee attendance. You don't need the fancy or expensive machines that thumbnail, fingerprint, biometric, and all that. You just need your phone, and then within our Kaki Tangan, we set up your shift and roster, and then you can start recording your attendance by only going to the mobile phone, and then you can clock in your attendance. Okay, so great. That is a bit of a glance on our system. So here, the first thing you need to do, if you're interested and if you want to test it out, of course, you have to sign up with the system. Okay. Okay, sign up is made very easy. Okay, hold on. Okay. First, of course, you go to kakitangan.com and then you just click sign up. Then it will direct you to this page. You have to fill up this document. All right. Create your account. First of all, you must be a business owner, or if you are handling HR, then you can also sign up using this account. Okay. So you just put your name. If you're an admin, just put a name towards it, and then your phone, email, you create your password, and your company names. Right. So company names must be a legit company names. All right. Whatever you register under ROS and all that, you must put that name in between the company name. And then if your office location scattered all over Malaysia, you have to put you have to key in the locations of your company and where you operates. So this one is by state. So if your office in Selangor, then you put Selangor. If you have a branch in Perak or Kedah, you just put those locations in, right? And then of course you create an account. Then after that you will receive an email from us. You just need to confirm those email, and then it will pass. It will come out with a login ID, and then you create your password from there. And then once you have confirmed your email, then you can already log into the system. Okay. Right. So once you log into the system after you have signed up, this will be the first thing that you will see. We need you to fill up some of the details here. Okay. As you can see, it's all there. You just need to click after you log in, and then you want to have a feel of any modules you can choose, and then you just click next. Right, then you can go through the module and all that. So if it's okay, then you will go back to this personal details, which you already signed up last time. You need to fill up a few more other details. So you just fill in all the personal details. Remember, the asterisk here is a must. So like your date of birth and all that, you must add in. Then once you add that all in, then the modules demo will come out. And we have a GIF, which you can look at it, just a simple one. Once you complete all those things, and then you can go to the configuration of the settings, right? So then you save all this. Once you have the configuration settings, on my stuck a bit. Okay. So if you would like to skip this also, it's fine. You just click the complete thing, complete button here, and then you will be you can start using the system, right? So once you click complete, then the system will direct you to your dashboard. So this will be your dashboard, right? You can see the dashboard will show you the claims, your claims, and then your staff who's on leave, your own leave, okay? And then you also can see the payroll bar here. Yeah. And then just below here is your company sharing file, and then documents for your employee, activity for login trackings. You can all explore it here. So basically, this is your dashboard. Okay, this will complete the sign up process. Once you come to this page, then that means your sign up is complete already. Okay, right. So the next thing you need to do after your sign up has been completed is setting up your companies. Okay, so here you go to settings. Okay, if you go here, okay, you can go here, settings. Okay, so this is it. Under the settings, you can see the company setting. So you just click company settings. Okay, and then you can quickly upload your logo into the settings. And then, of course, company name is already filled up when you sign up. You can fill up your company registration number. Your location also has been filled up last time. And then your primary address of the company, and then phone number of the company, and then set up your working days for the company. So this is the page. So you can set up your company logo here. Your company name, of course, it's here already when you first sign up. Registration number, your company registration number. Your locations already fill up after you sign up, and then your company's address, and then your company's telephone number, and your working days within your company. Okay, if you work from Monday to Friday, you just fill up this one, and then you hit the save button. So basically, that is your basic company settings. Okay, so once you create, once you create your company settings, you fill up all those company settings. You can add your employees already into the system. So adding your employees to the system, again, you go to the main menu. That's usually on the top of the bar, on top of your screen. You just click users, right? So after you click users, then you see this drop down page, a drop down table. So you just click add employee to team. You can add a single employee, meaning to say that you can add individually, one by one, each person, or you can add by batch. Okay. So if you click add single employee, so it will show you this page, and then you type in the person's name, the employee name, the preferred name, and then gender and all that. And then after that, you save the employee, or you can save and add another employee. So this will be done one by one, okay, individual by individual. If let's say your company is not that big, and then each employee, let's say recruitment is not very high, then you can use this one. So for example, like you have like one employee recruited for this month, so you just use this add single employee. But if you're a large company and you have a mass recruitment where in a month maybe 5 or 6 people coming into your company, then you use the batch add. What you do is you choose batch add employees here, okay, and then it will direct you to this page where you can download the template. So once you download the template, you can fill up the template and then you upload into our system. So this is the template. So inside the template, they have information like employee number, again your name, and then your preferred name, your emails for your manager, your phone number, a lot of information that you have to fill up there. So once you've done that on the template, you have to save it under CSV, and then only you can click the step 2 where you upload the completed template. You just drag here, or you can just click at the drop completed and then you sign to the template file. So then you can upload. So once upload, the system will fill up all those employee into the system. So you can see later on your company's your employees data within the company. Okay, so that is on that is how you upload or key in your employee profile into the system. Okay, it's made very easy, so you can do again individual, or if you want you can do also by batch, right? So that's that on the adding employee. If you have any issue, you can contact our support. They may help you on understanding more on the uploading of the employee. Okay. Next thing, we go to leave settings. Okay. So the first module that you would see in the system is the leave. Okay. So you need to do leave settings. Again, you go to settings and then you just click under settings, your leave settings. So the first thing you would see on top of the leave settings is the general leave settings, which, okay, here it asks you when your leave starts. Okay, usually in most company the calendar year starts from January up to December. But if let's say your company operates differently, your leave follows your financial year or whatever, then you can also set. For example, maybe some company their financial year starts from November or maybe February. Okay, so you just change the drop down tables here.
Hi Irene, can you mute your mic please, Irene? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So that is the first thing on the leave settings. The second one is you can see a custom message when applying leave. Okay, this basically you can key in a custom message to your employee every time they want to apply a leave. When they go to a leave page, they will see this message appear. So there's a default on it, but you can override it by adding your own custom message here. For example, like here, please apply leave and please apply annual leave 3 days in advance, so that your employee would see this and they know these are the main thing that they have to do when they apply leave. So they need to apply on 3 days in advance. Okay. Then you also can set the email sending out. Okay. For your information, in our Kaki Tangan system, we communicate through emails a lot. Okay. So when employee apply for a leave, an email will be sent out to the manager or approver to say that your employee is applying for a leave. Okay. So within that, you have to set your leave request email, and then it contains whether the whole team meaning to say the whole employee in your company or employees who directly report to approver. Usually, I suggest if your company like have 10 or 20 people, then you can use the whole team. But if more than 20 people, you go by employees who directly report to approver. Because later I will show you, when an employee apply for a leave, the email will be sent out, and then within the email, it also gives you information of who applies leave within the same week. Okay, for example, employee A is applying leave, and then within that email, it contains the information under the department or the direct report to approver, who else on leave within that week. So it helps the approver to decide whether, look, I want to approve this leave or not, because maybe sometimes when the department is a bit small, let's say you have like 4 or 5 person only within that department. If let's say 3 already taken leave within this week, then you have to decide the next one whether you want to approve it or not. So all this information is contained within the email. So the setting would be here. I would recommend employees who directly report to approval, so it doesn't show so many information. If you put the whole team, then if let's say like 10 or 20 people is inside there, then there would be 10 employees that applying leave within this week, would be the name would be there. So again, it's up to you, but I recommend the employees who directly report to approval. And then the next thing is email notifications. So email notifications, you can choose whether if you enable this, then the employees will be sent an email if the leave is withdrawn by the admin. And then also the same thing, send direct managers an email when their employees leave are withdrawn. So vice versa on this one. You just tick this one so that if the leave is being withdrawn, then an email will be sent it out to the employee and also the managers. Okay. So this is another feature that we have. Between the leave settings also, okay, you can set your calendars. There will be a leave calendar later after this. When I show you how the leave works, you will see the leave calendar. Okay, so under these settings, you can share the leave calendar among. If you put it off, then everyone will see the calendar as empty lah, except for the public holiday and all that. But if you enable show everyone, then it will show the whole company leave within the shared calendar, and then vice versa. So you can see the option is here. Everyone reporting to the same manager, everyone reporting to the user, and then in the same department. If you usually people will choose the same department because they wanted to know within their department only who took leave. Then the information would be shown or view at the shared calendar. So once you choose your option, you can click save, right? So okay, the next one is allowing employees to apply this year's leave balance for next year. Okay. This is actually quite a new feature for us also, because last time what our system have is, if let's say it's 2021, okay, let's say last year, December 2021, okay, you have 10 days leave on that particular month, okay, on December 2021, you have like 10 days leave, and then you want to take leave, and then your leave stretch out to 2022. For example, okay lah, I want to prepare for my kids going to school and all that, so I'm taking I'm allowing this employee to take last year's balance to the next year. Some company, they don't allow it because that entitlement is purposely for that current year. For example, 2021, you can only use for 2021. You cannot use for 2022 because that is your 2022. You have another entitlement, so you can set this. If you take this, then the employee can apply leave for next year using this year entitlement. If you don't take this, then it won't allow you. If you want to apply, then it will reject because this is the 2021 punya leave entitlement. Right? So far so good. And then okay, now we come to the heart of leave settings lah, which is the leave policies. Okay, you can edit your leave policies as per your internal policy on the leave. Okay, we can also do a lot of things within the leave policy. That depends on what your leave policies. For example, if your policies is very straightforward, that means everyone within the company is getting 8 days. So you just put annual and then entitlement 8 days, and then you save it. That means the whole company, the whole employee will get 8 days. If different, which is usually that's the policy. If let's say you have groups, and then you have also by years of service, you can also set as a custom entitlement. So what you do is, if for example, it's straightforward like this, you just click the action button, which is the pencil here, and then it will pop out a window, and then you just click 8 or maybe 10 or 12, whatever numbers your leave policy for annual entitlement, and then whether this leave policy is paid, meaning to say it's a paid annual leave, and then you just save. If not, then what you do is you go to enable custom entitlement for this policy. You just click and enable it, and then it will ask you, let's say, for example, you go by years of service. If employees serve less than 2 years, then they get 8 days. If employees serve 2 to 5 years, then they get 12 days. If 5 years above, you get maybe 16 days. So you can click for under custom entitlement, you enable the custom entitlement, and then you go by years of service. So you change your month year from 0 to 24. That means below 2 years, you get 8 days. Then you add another group, and then you add in, let's say for here, 24 to 60. And then that means between 2 to 5 years, and then you raise it to 12 days, and then you confirm, then you add some more. Okay, so this is how you do your leave policies, adding up. If you have a different group, let's say within the years of service, but you still have different group, for example, executive below 2 years is 14 days. And then non-executive below 2 years is 12 days. So you need to create a group for it. Because this one that I show you before this is for everyone. That means the whole employee are affected. If different group, then you have to click add group. Then you add, you name a group towards it, and then only you can assign to the leave entitlement to those group. Okay, to add group, what you need to do is you go to your dashboard, I mean your menu bar, you can see users there. So you click users, under users, you find the icon button add group here. So you just click add group. Then you start naming your group lah, whether executive, non-executive, and so on. So once you add group, you created the group, for example, executive and then non-executive, then you need to assign employee to that particular group. So how to assign it? You go when you see the grouping, and then towards the right hand of your page, then you see this icon. You just click this icon, okay, and then you start adding in your employee to that group. For example, let's say I want to assign employee under group executive. So I click this icon, and then this page will come out. So I add employees who is under the executive, and then I add into selected group. After that, I go to the next group. I click the icon again, and then I see this page again, and then I add those employee yang under that particular group. So and so on. So that's how you adding into the group. Okay. So once you add those employees to the group, automatically it will assign the annual leave entitlement as per what you have set previously from this one. Okay. So whether it's 8, 12 or whatever number. Right. Okay. Once you added the annual leave entitlement, or you edit your annual leave entitlement, the next thing you would need to know is how you want to calculate your leave entitlement. Okay. Within our system, we have 3 options that you can use for your how the system would calculate your leave entitlement. The first one is accrual on pro rata basis. Basically, this means that the leave entitlement will be prorated within the leave punya entitlement year. For example, the leave entitlement, annual leave entitlement is 12 days. So if you choose on pro rata basis, each month the employee will get 1 day. So basically, January he will get 1 day, February he will get another day. If he doesn't use in January, then it's accumulated to 2 days. It becomes 2 days and so on. If you choose the second one, it's a full entitlement on pro rata basis. Basically, what this means is, comes January, the annual leave entitlement will be shown as 12 days. So the employee can make use of that 12 days as they see fit. But of course, the management or the manager would have to view on this because they will give some space to the employee to manage their own leave. The reason why is because if, let's say, you give a pro rata basis, and then you have 1 day, and then by Chinese New Year you cannot take any more leave. You have the maximum is 2 days only, so you cannot take more than that. So that's why a lot of company nowadays they give full entitlement to the pro rata basis to the employee, so that the employee may decide how best they use this. If they use the leave excessively, then the manager would know whether to decide whether want to approve it or not. For example, they say the leave entitlement was given 12 days. Come Chinese New Year, he wants to take 10 days on one shot. So manager would respond towards it. Hey, maybe you can take 5 days only, or maybe 4 days. The rest, maybe you might want to get unpaid leave or whatever do you need to take so long for the Chinese New Year leave and so on. So this would give some space for the employee and also the manager to manage the leave. The third one is the combination of both. That means if you are a newly joined employee, if you are a first year within the company, you will be calculated as prorated. Once you completed the 12 months period, then only the system will give you the full entitlement for the next year. So this is a combination of those 3 options on the leave entitlement, how it is being calculated within the system, right? Okay. The next one is basically in our system, in our leave policy system, you have your annual leave, you have your carry forward leave from last year, and then you have compassionate hospitalization, maternity, paternity, and sick leave. This is the default leave that is already in the system, because this is what usually a lot of company is using for their leave policy. Okay, but if you have other leave, for example, you have a leave policy of marriage leave, or what else? Examination leave and so on. You can also add that under the custom leave policy. But basically, we already give you the defaulted one, so that you need to give to the employee. These are the usual suspect of the leave policy that is being used in almost all companies, right? Like I said before this, If you have a different or your own policy, you can add custom policy and then you name the policy name. For example, marriage leave, you put here under the policy name, marriage leave, and then you put the entitlement that you allow for the employee, let's say 5 days or whatever days, and you put, and then whether this is this leave policy is paid policy or not. Okay. You may also add in unpaid leave. For example, you allow within your company for an unpaid leave. So you create a new policy also, put unpaid leave here, and then put whatever numbers you allow for employee to take unpaid leave within the year. And then of course, for unpaid leave, this box, you would untick it because unpaid leave, the policy is not paid. So you just disable this one. The reason why is because later on, if you create an unpaid leave and then you put the leave policy is not paid, then the system will take this unpaid leave and helps you to calculate in your payroll. Okay, so you can use this also. Okay, this is how you add your custom policy lah. Okay. Okay, the next one is whether you allow carry forward or not. If you allow carry forward, then you enable it. You just tick there, and then you show. And then of course, you would want to put a number that you allow. This is where you put here under carry forward. Okay. Then under carry forward, you can you just click action here, and then you can change the carry forward numbers that you allow. Okay. You can put also a custom leave carry forward inside there. Okay, and then you can also put an expiry for the carry forward. For example, like this one, it shows 12 months. But let's say the company policy usually give, okay, I allow 5 days of carry forward from last year to this year, but you need to finish the carry forward would be expired within 3 months. So if that is your leave policy, then you just change here from 12 to 3 months. And then the system will take into consideration after 3 months, all the carry forward that is not being used will be burned off. Okay, so it takes this process where usually admin have to check again after 3 months, and then they have to check whether all the employees who have not taken to zero rise all this one. So now it's being taken care by our system. Right. Okay, so this one tadi yang I cakap tu lah. So you dekat carry forward, you just click the pencil and then put the number in. If it's a custom one, then you just click a custom one, then you do your customization lah for that one. And then you put the expiry. Okay, so we cover all the main policy, leave policy, usually the leave and all that. And then you cover also sick leave, and then carry forward for if you allow carry forward and all that. The next one, if within the company you practice replacement leave, okay, you can also enable it in our system. So here in our system, how replacement leave works is the employee have to apply for a replacement leave. For example, an employee is working on their off day or rest day, or maybe Sunday, or maybe they're not supposed to work, but because there's a seminar or event that you ask them to come to work on their off day or rest day, then you can always replace their off day later on. So what we do in our system is, of course, you set this, you allow employees to apply for a replacement leave credit, you enable it, and then you can put a custom message. Okay, an employee can apply for a replacement day upon blah blah blah, and then whether the replacement leave is allowed to be carried forward to the next year or not. Usually, this happens to some of our clients where they are an event organizer and all that, and event organizer usually towards the end of the year they have a lot of event they want to do, and then they allow the employee to apply for a replacement, and then it allows to be carried forward to the next year. I mean, they can use it January, so you put yes. If you don't allow it, then you just put no. Okay. Of course, attachment, if you want it, like to show the clock in of the employee within the off day and so on, you can put yes. If no requirement needed for attachment, you just put no lah. Okay. So that's on the replacement leave. Okay, the employee have to apply for a credit, then only they will be given the replacement leave balance number or amount that they can use later on if they want to use their if they want to replace their leave. Okay. Right.
Okay, basically on the sorry, Isam.
It's
So
okay.
basically on the replacement leave here, is quite useful, especially for people who are or for company that were running on a shift basis. Because when you're running on shift like restaurants or even call center and stuff like that, so some of the employees will have to work on weekends. Those people that will be able to get replacement leave. So you can basically ask them to apply for replacement leave, and then they can apply under leave again, utilize their replacement. It will not be utilized under their annual leave. Right. So this is a function very useful to segregate the normal annual leave entitlement versus the replacement leave, whereby when they work on weekends or even public holidays. Yeah. Any questions for the leave page so far? If you have any questions, you can always type on the chat box. All right. Or if you want to speak up, you can use the raise hand under the reaction function on Zoom. Okay. All right. Pass back to you, Nizam.
Yep. Thank you, Wilson. Okay. As Wilson mentioned, all our leave are segregated by their own policies. For example, just now, like Wilson mentioned, replacement leave. If you get a replacement credit or if you get a replacement leave, it won't be added into your annual leave. It will be under specific leave policy, which is replacement leave. So all these are segregated so that it's easier identified by the employee. For example, carry forward. Usually, sometimes what people like to do last time was carry forward, bundle up with the current annual leave entitlement for this year. So they don't really know actually what's their carry forward. For example, if their entitlement is 12 days, suddenly they got 17 days for this year. Then they go, hey, my annual leave is being raised. Actually not, it's a carry forward, it's bundled up together from last year to your annual leave. So what we do is we separate it out. So once you separate out, then you can identify, so you can make use of whatever leave that you want to use. For example, like if carry forward, I would use carry forward in the beginning of the year, because knowing that the carry forward have expiry date towards it. So I don't touch my annual leave yet. I just use my carry forward. So I go and find my carry forward leave policies. Carry forward leave type. So I make sure that I finish up all those carry forward first before I started using my annual leave. So that's that. Okay. So once you, this one also you can put an emergency leave. You don't have to create an emergency leave policy there. You just need to enable the emergency leave, which the emergency leave, if you put a emergency leave applied within, let's say you put 1 day. So whenever an employee applies under the annual leave, less than 1 day, then immediately it will turn out to be as emergency leave. It deducts your annual leave, but it will identify as an emergency leave. So you can set it whether 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or maybe 5 days. Whoever applies with shorter than 5 days from their entitlement, then it will be turned out as an emergency leave. So this will train your employee to plan their leave more meaningful. Okay, so that it doesn't disrupt your company's operations. Okay, so once you've done that, you save everything. You have successfully set your policies lah. So now that your policies are all in tab in our system, then you can start using your leave. So how to use your leave? Okay, again, you go to your dashboard, your menu, main menu. You select leave. Okay, Once you select leave, then a leave calendar. Under the leave calendar, you see a button there saying new leave. You just click new leave. Pop-up will come out, and then this is the kind of like a form lah. Okay, last time you use form. So once you click new leave, a form will come out, and then you use this one lah. Okay, for an admin, they can apply on behalf of the employee. If let's say the employee doesn't have a email, doesn't have a smartphone or doesn't have a PC towards it, they can still use their form and then pass to admin. Admin can apply on behalf of the employee to record in the system. So admin can have this. Admin will have this select an employee, and then they just from here they just press this one, and a drop down will come out, and then they choose whoever employee that they want to apply on behalf, and then choose the leave type, the date, whether it's a full day or half day in the morning or half day in the afternoon. Then you have to put reason. For annual leave, usually it doesn't. You don't have to set as a. You need to give with a supporting document. But for if let's say you're applying for MC, sick leave, or hospitalization, or even maternity, when you choose this leave type, then you need a supporting documents towards it. So once you fill up all this, then you can click apply. For an employee themselves, they will have the same form, but without the select an employee, because they cannot apply on behalf of other people. They can apply for themselves. So the form would show same thing, but without the select an employee. So they just choose which leave type they want to use, carry forward or whatever, and then apply the date, put a reason. If MC, put a supporting document. If just annual leave entitlement, then they just can ignore this and then apply. So once they click apply, an email will be sent to the manager, and manager will respond towards it, whether to approve or reject. So here, once they approve, this is the shared calendar that I talked about before this. So within the shared calendar, it will show if there is a public holiday, right? And then once an employee apply, their leave will appear here. For example, this is that person. So it will appear here as an annual leave. If other person apply, their names would be here. Let's say Ali is applying for on Wednesday. So Ali leave would be shown here on the 5th. So each time employee goes to leave, when they go to leave, they will see this before. And then if let's say they want to apply leave, before they apply leave, they can look at the calendar and see who's applying leave. Maybe they know if let's say this person is already applying on the 5th. He knows if he apply on the 5th, it will be rejected. Then he applies on the 6th, for example, like that lah. So the shared calendar would be useful for the employee themselves. If they want to apply leave, they can see other people who. That's why just now we have a leave setting where the leave calendar can be shown with a few options. Can be shown under one department, under the same manager, under the same user, and then also show everyone. If you're a small company, then you can show everyone so that you know all this, all your colleague, cuti, right? If you're a bigger company, then you might want to know on your department only. You don't care about other departments. So share calendar here would help a lot on this one. Okay. So on the leave calendar, if you see here, at the bottom of the leave calendar, you would see a customized company holiday. So this company holiday will be updated by Kaki Tangan each year. For example, like for 2022, we already updated for 2022 all the public holidays all over Malaysia, all over the state. So if let's say your some company don't follow all those leave that is being given by the government. So for example, let's say like what else? Like Maulidur Rasul or what else? Awal Muharram maybe. Some company doesn't acknowledge that as a public holiday. then they just can disable it within the customized company holiday. Okay, so you can add, and you can also disable some of the leave that is not concerned to your company. Okay, so yeah, that would be on the calendar under the customized company holidays. Okay.
Okay.
If you want,
Here, Nizam, I would like to add. Yeah.
Mm.
Right. Recently, Kuala Lumpur has won the FA Cup, and the government has announced public holiday for some of the companies, for public sector. So some of the private sector that they do not observe that as a public holiday in Kuala Lumpur. So what they can do is they can use the function disable under the public holiday page that Nizam just showed you. So what happened is in Kaki Tangan, we are very fast and quick in responding to all the latest changes by the government. Therefore, it is always an advantage for using a Kaki Tangan system to check all your public holiday or even special holiday that your company want to observe or not. Yeah, thanks.
Yep. Thank you, Wilson. Yeah. Like Wilson mentioned, when KL won the FA Cup, immediately after they announced that that will be a holiday for KL state area. So that night we already upload into the system. Okay, so the next day, if the company follows it, then they follow it. If they don't, then they just disable the recently announced public holiday. Okay. All right. So once an employee applies for leave, the admin and also the employee can always view the applications of leave under the view applications. Okay, you're still in the same leave page here. Okay, under menu, you stay on the leave, and then you click the view applications. Once you click view application, it will show all the leave that has been applied by the employee into the system. Okay, of course, it will list out those. Okay, for admin, it will list out all the employees. If for the employee, if they log in themselves, then they, of course, they will see their view leave applications only. For the managers, of course, they will see those employee under the manager themselves. So when they see the view application, they can see all the employee names. For example, I'm the manager for department sales, so I can see all my sales team here, and then I can, of course, when they apply leave, if I approve it on email, I can also approve it on email. If I wanted to see whether there are other things I want to check out, then I just go leave view application. I can see all those leave applications that has been submitted. Especially macam if like Chinese New Year, you know, Chinese New Year, there's going to be a long holiday. A lot of people are going to take advantage on this long holiday. So you might want to go to view applications, and then you see who is applying leave on which day, whether it's disrupt the operations of or not. So you can decide whether to approve. Approve, you click here. If you want to reject it, you click here. And then if you want to withdraw it, you click this icon. So after you have make a decision towards the leave application, then it will show the status. Okay, for example, like this one is still pending. This one is declined, rejected by the manager, and this one is being approved. Okay, so footnote on this. For employee, if they applying or they submit an application of leave and it has not been taken action by the manager, that means manager has not approved yet, the employee can still withdraw themselves, right? But if the employee submit leave application and manager has approved it, the employee cannot withdraw it after the manager has approved. To withdraw, only the admin can withdraw. So you have to go to admin and give your reason. Maybe you give an email saying that, hey, I apply in advance for this leave on this date, but I wish to retract the leave application. Then only admin will decline it. Withdraw the leave application for you. Employee cannot withdraw it once it's been approved. Okay. The other thing is all this list you see here will be recorded into our system. We will not delete it, or we will not purge it or anything. So if let's say you've been using Kaki Tangan for 3 or 4 years, all the 3-4 years listed under the view application. But of course, on top will be the latest. The previous one will be at the back of this one, at the last of the list. Okay, so at any point of time, let's say you want to check last year leave that has been taken, you can always use this filter out. So you can choose the range of date. Let's say you want to choose from, I want to check February up to August last year, who's been taking leave and all that. So you can always filter it out, and you can double check. So this is useful sometimes because people might argue with you, hey, I did not take that leave lah. So you can always check it, whether that person applied for a leave or not that day. Sometimes maybe they go for unpaid leave and then they forgot about it and all that. So you can always use this view application and can always check back from the previous month. So this is something good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this one, after the leave has been approved, you will be able, then this is the new punya thing. You can click pending, approve, and so on. You can also what do you call that? Filter it out. Okay. So okay, that is on how to apply leave and so on, and how to view it. Okay, we go to the next one is replacement credit. As I mentioned just now, if you work on a public holiday or your off day and you wish to get a replacement on your leave on your off day, so first thing you need to do is the employee themselves have to apply for a replacement credit to get that number of days that they deserve. Okay, if let's say they work 2 days for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, because due to some event or whatever, so sorry, so the employee, so they go to this replacement credit tab, and then they apply for it. Okay, so they click apply for a replacement credit. Once they click apply for a replacement credit, the form will come out, and then they apply lah. For example, let's say they work on 28th and 28th of September, that is on the public, on their off day, and then they can put reason working on those days that is my rest day, so they apply. Once they apply, of course, the manager will get it, get the email, and then decide lah whether to approve. Of course, manager has to know lah that the employee really works or not. If the manager knows about it and agrees with it, and then they can just approve it. So once the manager approve, the employee will get those numbers, the replacement leave, into their leave policy. So then the employee can make use later on, just apply a replacement leave balance with just like any other leave. Okay, so that is how they apply for a replacement credit in the first place. The next one, the last one is leave reports. After replacement credit, you can see view leave reports. So under the view leave reports, of course, it's meant as it is. You can always you have 3 reports within the under this menu. It show you the leave balance, leave report for each employee, and then leave report by individual. So here it will show, you put a name into it, and all the leave entitlement that is entitled by this employee would be shown. And also the last punya report would be leave report by type and department. So you can always, here is the page. So if you click leave balance, then it will show the department. You can filter it out by department and shows that person under that department what are their leave balance are. Okay, If you click by leave report by individual, you can select the employee under the employee name. And then within the employee name, it will show all those leave that the employee entitled. And then the last one is the report by type and department. You can go by the leave type. For example, if you want to see annual leave only, you just click under the policy, you click annual leave, okay, annual, and then it shows the annual leave entitlement for all the employee and then taken for each month. Okay, so that is how leave management is being processed in our system. Any questions?
Okay, if you have any question, you can either type in the chat box, or of course, if you want to raise your hand and speak up, also is welcome. Yeah. If not, then we will proceed for the next topic.
Okay. Next topic will be the payroll. Okay. Okay. Payroll. Again, we go to the settings first lah. Okay. On the menu bar, you choose payroll, and then at the payroll, then you can see here, you can see the payroll settings here. So when you click the payroll settings, of course, there's a new page for the payroll settings. So you will see this this information saying that payroll permission has been moved into the settings page. Never mind, just click here, and then it will bring you to the new payroll settings page. Okay, so basically this is the new payroll setting page. It's quite different from the previous one. So under the payroll settings, the first one you would see is the general punya payroll settings. Okay, it will ask you for the forms that usually payroll handles. For example, payroll for forms for EPF, LHDN, SOCSO, EIS, and so on. So you can put a name or a person in charge towards it. Okay, for example, usually manager lah. Okay, manager the one who, or head of department of HR are the one who's usually sign all these forms and all that. So you can put the names towards it, or you can just leave it like blank. No, you don't assign to anyone. So in the form later on, it will be blank on those forms. Okay. The next one is the standard working hours. Okay, usually standard working hours is 8, and by default in our system is 8 also. But sometimes some company they have different, because they don't work 5 days in a week. Maybe they work 4 days in a week or 3 days, but their working hours is higher, maybe 10 days and so on. 10 hours and so on. So they can change it as they want lah. Okay. And then, of course, show zero net in payroll report. If you enable this, then the system, whoever doesn't have any amount towards this month, maybe for some other reason, then it will still show the employee's name, but the amount would be 0. It doesn't calculate anything towards it. Okay, the next one is the HRDF. Okay, if your company is paying levy to HRDF or HRD Corp as it is known now, so you can enable it. Okay, under the HRDF, applicable, you put yes, and then you put the percentage. The percentage is usually between 0.5 to 1%. If the employee is more than 10 employees within the company, it's 1%. If the employee is less than 10 employee within the company, it's 0.5. So usually HR would know lah what are the percentage they supposed to contribute. Yes.
Hi Nizam, can you check if there's anyone in the waiting room? Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, someone is joining, I think. Yeah.
Huh?
It's okay, carry on first. Yeah.
Okay, so that is on the HRD Corp. So if you're paying levy, then you put yes. If no, then just put no. All right. And then the next one is if you have a deduction for ASB and all that, you just click just enable the function there. And then of course payroll cycles, whether you're paying twice in a month or you're just paying monthly payroll. Usually it's monthly payroll. So you just put 1 cycle. If you are paying 2 cycles payroll in a month, for example, your mid-month would be your overtime and allowances, and then your end month would be your basic salary. Then you choose 2 cycles, and you decide whether to deduct if there is an unpaid to deduct in cycle 1 or cycle 2. If you're paying the basic on cycle 2, of course, it will be cycle 2 lah. Logically, it will be on cycle 2. Okay. And then Hade attendance. That Hade is our attendance management, module, attendance management. So if you're using our attendance, and then you can tie it up with our payroll. For example, if you have an employee that is hourly paid or daily paid, then you monitor their hourly or daily numbers from the attendance. Then you have to include that within here lah, whether you want to include those amount that they sum up in the month, whether to pay in the cycle 1 or cycle 2. Again, usually it's cycle 2 if you're paying the same as basic on the cycle 2. Okay, module linking to systems. We have 2 modules that can be linked to our payroll. One is the claims module. If you're paying your claims with your payroll, then you just enable it here in the box. And also, if you're paying, if you're using our attendance to calculate for the payroll, then you can link also here. So once you link all these 2, you can save it. If you pay different, if you pay separately, then you don't have to fill up this one. You don't have to enable it. Just leave it blank like this one. Okay. All right. The next one is important, is the EPF settings. All right. So EPF settings, we follow the government rates is currently for now is 9 or 11. 9% would end until June this year. After that, you'll go back to the normal percentage, which is 11% for the employee rate. But for this one is the settings for the employer rate. Okay, as you know, employers rate for EPF, it has 2 different rates. The first rate is if the employee if employee salary is 5,000 and below, then the employer percentage would be 13%. If the employee salary is 5,000 and above, then the EPF for employer contribution would be 12%. So some company, they want to pay flat, that is 13%. So you can make those settings here, right? For example, you choose this one lah, the second one, fixed rate for the staff with salary 5K plus on top of individual extra, meaning to say whatever your rate, whatever your salary 5K or below or 5K above, it will be on a fixed rate, maybe 13% lah. Usually it's 15%. The next one is EPF employer add-on percentage. This some company, they part of their benefits package, they said if you work more than 10 years with our company, the employer will add on top your EPF contribution another 2%. So you put here 2%. So how the system calculate? You calculate first your original percentage and then added another 2%. So this is useful if you want to retain your employee by adding nice benefit package, then you can also use here. And then for non-Malaysian pay normal EPF rates, some of the foreigners, they want to contribute also. So you just enable this and then system will calculate whoever is non-foreigners, foreigners or expatriate, they want contribution for EPF also. So once you've done all this, you can save the settings. Okay. Okay. The next one is the overtime settings. Okay. Okay, overtime settings, you have a default one. You have a normal rate, and then your public holiday rate, and then your after your public holiday rate. Normal will be 1.5, and then public holiday would be 2, and then after a certain number of working hours, you get a 3 times in salary. You can also add your own custom rate, because sometimes again, some company under the benefit package, they pay more than this than are required. Let's say they pay for 1.75 for the normal rate. So what they do is they can change here lah. Okay, and then maybe you have other rate also. You calculate differently. That depends on your policy. As long as it is not below the standard rate that government introduced. Okay. Let's see. Okay, the formula for calculating OT as being shown here. If your salary is 5,000 and then you divide by 26, of course, for your information, to calculate your OT, you want to get your rate. Basic salary needs to be divided by 26, and then you divide by 8 hours per day. Then you get your rating, your rate, okay, per hour rate. And then per hour rate, then you choose whether it's the public holiday rate and so on. So here is how our system calculates everything, okay, based on the settings on the payroll, right? So besides the overtime rating, we also have the ordinary rate pay. Okay, ordinary rate pay is a shilling to some company that they use. For example, the company allows people to have overtime, okay, but they put a shilling towards the overtime in calculation. For example, macam this one, it shows that the employee earnings is 5,000, so they still allow the employee to have overtime even though the salary is already high. But some company, they want to take a stand. They have a policy where of course you can do overtime, but we put a shilling towards it. So they put an ordinary rate pay of monthly pay. So for this example, maybe if an employee is earning 5,000, for the ordinary rate pay for monthly salary, you can set, let's say, 3,000. So if the employee that earns 5,000 is doing overtime, his overtime calculation would calculate at a shilling of 3,000 only. So this is what this ordinary rate pay is useful. You can set a shilling towards it, and then anybody who's doing overtime, if you set it 3,000, if the employee is earning 2,005, of course it will calculate at 2,005. If the employee is earning 3,005, the basic, but for the overtime calculation, it will calculate up to 3,000 only. So even though the salary is 3,005 or 5,000, the salary will be calculated at 3,000. This is what it is being used for. You can set for monthly salary, also for daily salary, and also hourly salary. Okay. And then for the calculation of overtime, okay, by default, our overtime calculation calculates at basic salary only. So whatever your basic salary, it will be used. Let's say your basic salary is 3,000. So it will calculate by 3,000 divided by 26 divided by 8 to get the rate. If you set your basic salary plus fixed allowances, okay, or allowances, so the salary would the calculation would calculate at, if let's say example, your basic salary is 3,000, you have a transport allowance of 500 fixed, okay. So the OT calculation would calculate at 3,500 if you choose the basic salary plus allowances. So it will be higher punya ni lah rating. So that's how the setting is. That depends on your policy. Usually we will ask a lot of questions with our client. What is your policy, so that we can properly set all those policies that you have in our system so that it will calculate as per your company's policy and so on. Okay, compensation rounding, this is just a rounding up, whether when they calculate, if let's say got cents behind it, you want to round it up or round it down. So that's up to you also. All right, the next thing after OT and all that, so the next thing is your pro rata setting. What does pro rata settings does in our payroll setting is it helps you to calculate for those employee who newly joined and also employee who resign. Okay, it will calculate the pro rata salary. Yes, Naomi.
Can I ask just
Yep.
now, the monthly, can you go back to the previous slide? The monthly salary, which means is my like full-time staff. If daily salary is this means that like a part-time.
Yeah, if they're paying daily, up to you lah. Sometimes you have employee that even a full-time, but they are being paid daily. For example, restaurant workers and all that, they're being paid daily. So they come to work, then they get paid.
So this one, I set either one, or I can set all.
That depends on the payroll that you're the payroll punya settings that you use. Are you paying them monthly, or are you paying them based on their daily on a monthly basis?
So I also can set it in, I mean, individual different staff criteria, right?
Yes. Yeah, because in your user profile, you have to determine whether this employee is being paid monthly or he's being paid daily.
Okay.
So then only the system will read from here lah.
Okay, so everything I can be done in this separately different staff policy.
Correct. Different staff will be determined in their profile.
Okay, thank you.
Then it will be reading from here. All right. Great, good.
There's another question by Safwan.
Mm-hmm.
How about employee pay based on basic plus commission?
Same thing. Okay. Commission, if you put basic salary plus allowances, okay, then if let's say that particular month they have commission, then it will include the commission as the base of the salary, the overtime calculation. That's why usually some company, they don't want to use the basic salary plus allowance. They just use basic salary only. But actually by according to the government punya law, it's your earnings for that month. It's supposed to calculate with your allowances, whatever receive your earnings for that month. Then that will be the base of your overtime calculation. But hardly people follow it lah. Usually they use basic salary only. Okay, if you want to use, if you choose basic salary plus allowance, that means your basic salary plus commission. Let's say you got commission is 200, then your salary is 3,000. It will calculate at 3,200 divided by 26 divided by 8. If your usually commissions, fluctuate, changes, so it will follow the calculation like that. So best kalau if commission, you just post, you can choose basic salary only to maintain the overtime calculation. All right, going back to pro rata settings. Okay, pro rata settings, as I mentioned before, it helps you to calculate your how you calculate your newly joined and your termination employee or resign employee. So if you enable this function, enable the pro rata salary, then you have to decide how you calculate your pro rata salaries. You have 3 options here. Every day means following the calendar days. Only work days, they follow the work days that you work. Let's say you work from Monday to Friday. Then within within the month, it will only calculate the number of days that the employee works. So how it calculates, for example, the employee is basically monthly salary is 3,000. You offer them 3,000. Okay, so he joined on the 10th of the month. So what the system does is, system will take the 3,000 and then divide. If you choose every day, if the month is January, then it will divide by 31. If the month is February, if February is 28, then it will divide by 28 and so on. That is the everyday means in our system. That means the calendar days. Only work days, it will calculate the working days for that particular month. So they clear Monday to Friday, 5 days, then Monday to Friday the next week. So you get maybe 21, sometimes you get 24, 22, something like that. So it will calculate only the work day. Custom is if you prefer to calculate at a fixed new rate. For example, whatever month it is, I don't care. Every time I want to calculate basic salary for the employee, prorate it, I will calculate at 30. So you put like custom work days, you put 30. Then every time, regardless of the month of the year, the basic salary will divide by 30, right? And then weekends are not paid and so on. These are some of the things lah. That depends on you punya policies setting. And then you have your payroll cut-off date, 31st, and unpaid cut-off date. Okay, cut-off date meaning to say that okay, you calculate your salary from 1st to end of the month. Even though you pay early, maybe you pay on the 27 or 28, but your calculation for the payroll is 1st to 31st. Some company, they do it differently. They pay on the 27th. Let's say they pay on the 27th, so cut-off date is on the 26th. So 26, sorry, the cut-off date is okay lah, 26 lah. So 26. So 26 from last month up to 26 from this month. Then 27 baru pay. So if that is what your cut-off date you do, then you put a change here. Otherwise, kalau you calculate from 1st to 31st or 30th, then you put the 30th lah. Then this means it's calculated from monthly. The same month, sorry, the same month. Okay. So what this does, when you enable this, if an employee join the company, the system, you only have to put in a key in within the system, the employee full basic salary. That means you offer them 3,000, then you must put 3,000. Then automatically for this month, if they join 10, the system will calculate the salary prorated into the calculations, right? If the employee resign also, let's say they resign on the 25th, then the system will calculate it prorated it for you. These are the settings lah for it. Okay, these are the sample that I just mentioned just now. You can have a look later on. After this, we will give you the the slides. Okay, and then also you can also put in unpaid leaves that select that affects the payroll. Okay, if you add in unpaid leave into the leave settings, okay, and then macam tadi I cakap, I told you you can when you put a new policy under unpaid leave, you disable that leave is a policy paid. So when you disable it, then the system will detect any unpaid leave that you have set in your leave management and then put into the payroll, calculate in the payroll. So what you do is, of course, first you create the unpaid leave lah, right? Okay. So once you create the unpaid leave, and then once it has been approved within the leave management, the system in the payroll will automatically deducted all those unpaid amount, right? Okay, the next thing after pro rata setting is the pro rata for annual leave. Okay, this one is for the payroll to calculate if, let's say, the employee resign and the employee have leave balance, and that leave balance needs to be in cash. Or for example, towards the end of the year, you don't allow carry forward and you want to calculate the encashment for annual leave, then the setting will be here. So you just enable it. Usually for by default it's 26 for the custom, but then it depends again on how your policy are. So This will help if the employee resign, and then if the employee have balance leave, and then the balance leave is not being taken, you need to pay the employee that leave balance that they are entitled to encash cash it lah. So the system will, if you enable this, you just need to key in the date of resignation, then system will automatically detect what are the leave balance for this employee for their until their last day. If they don't want, they don't wish to take those leave, and then they want to encash it, the system will calculate it for you, right? Okay, so again, macam I cakap tadi just now, termination or resign. So what you do is to make sure that this is being calculated in the payroll, you go for the employee profile, and then you go to this button actions and terminate the employee. Once you terminate the employee, you key in the last day of the employee, the system will take care of the calculation of annual leave encashment. Right, so how it works, when you set that, if you go to your payroll calculator, it will show you in the payroll calculator, and then you can always, let's say for example, this employee is earning 4,000, but their last day is on February 10. So system will automatically calculate from 1st to 10 only. So these are the earnings that the employee will receive after they for that particular month, because they resign on the 10th, so system will calculate until the 10th only. So you don't really have to calculate manually and then put it into the system. System will take care all of this. Okay, how it derives to this number? Okay, so 4,000 they divide by 26. This is what you set, and then times 10 days, because he works from 1st to 10 only, because last day is 10. And then any encashment or not, the other balance leave of 1 day, the balance leave is calculated and then added into the calculation, so it derives to this number. So that's how the system will always show you how it is being calculated. You just need to know where to click the right thing. The last thing is the payroll set. For the payroll settings is the payslip. So here our payslip, we have 3 formats. A4 size without the year to date, and then A4 size with year to date in portrait shape, and then lastly is a A5 size in the landscape mode. All right. So here also here also you can enable some of the function. For example, you want to show overtime details in payslip. If you enable this, then the system will show, okay, 1.5 times whatever rate that you are receiving for hours that you're calculating. So it will show the details for overtime. If you want to show annual leave balance in payslip, so each month system will calculate the balance of particular month, and then we'll have those leave balance amount there. Of course, include payment date in payslip. When is your payment for your payroll? It will be shown in the payslip also, and so on. So once you've done your payslip settings, you completed your payroll settings. Now you can start using your payroll module. So if no questions, I quickly move to payroll, because we have 2 more modules, and we are in we don't have much more time. So payroll module, okay, when you click on the menu bar under the payroll, so immediately you will see a payroll calculator. On top of the payroll calculator, you would see this the year of the payroll and the month of the payroll. So you have to choose it, right? Usually year by default, of course lah, macam kalau this month is year 2022, and then month is already January. So it will select January already. So you just make sure that you are in the right month and the right year, then you can proceed. Okay. So once you proceed, this is what we call our payroll calculator. In our payroll calculator, it will show you the salary type. This is shown based on your employee profile that you added in. If you are paying monthly, then you get the monthly salary type here. If you're being paid daily, then it will show daily what is your daily amount for the day. Okay, so all this information ada dalam payroll calculator based on the employee profile, right? So within the payroll calculator, you can choose the employee name here to choose each one. Okay, so if you have 14 employees, then you'll be seeing 14 employees here. You can choose the name, type in the names under this what do you call that, field, and also you have an arrow on your left and right, so you can choose to move to the next person, move to the next person. So this is your payroll calculator. Just now I mentioned under the payroll calculator, you have a salary type. If you click this, you show you whether your monthly pay, daily pay, or hourly pay, right? And then the full amount of your salary. If your monthly paid, so if your monthly is 4,000, then fine, you put 4,000. If your daily paid, your daily pay is 110 ringgit per day, then you put full amount 110 ringgit. If your hourly pay is let's say 7 ringgit per hour, then you choose salary type hourly, then you put full amount as 7 ringgit. So later in the system, in the calculator, it will show this part, okay, under the basic earnings. If you choose monthly, of course, it will show 1 month, okay? But if you choose daily, then here it will show daily, and then you can add in the day, number of days here that the person worked. If the payroll is linked with Hade, Hade will take up the attendance and then pump in the number of work days in this payroll. Okay. If hourly also the same, you go to attendance, and then attendance will pump the details into the payroll and then show the hours that the employee worked. Only month it is fixed. Usually month is fixed lah. But daily and hourly, it depends. If you use our attendance, then the data will come from the attendance. If you don't use our attendance system, then you can manually add in those numbers here at work. That means kalau daily, then you can, let's say you use your own attendance system, or you have a manual thing, then you say, okay, this employee daily work for us 20 days for this month. So you just put 20 days. Then the system will calculate it for you. Okay. Besides the basic earning, you have also your additional earnings. This is where usually the allowances, the commissions, the bonus payment, and all that are being paid. So we have a standard additional earnings that is defaulted within our system. You can also add in your custom allowances that you have that is not within the system. Okay, so as you can see here, the basic one is usually general allowances, your meal allowances, transport allowance, phone allowance, and etc. So if you want to use the defaulted one, you just key in the amount. You just click these numbers, and then you can always change the numbers or add in the numbers. So once you add into this number, then the system will pick it up. If you notice, for each additional earnings, you will see a blue icon on the right side. That is the settings for each additional earnings. Okay, as you know, for payroll, all allowances are subjected to some statutory. For example, allowances like general allowance, phone allowance, and all that. So they are basically subjected whether for tax, EPF, SOCSO, or EIS. So the setting is there already, it's defaulted already. But let's say if you don't want to use, for example, some company, they say, oh, no, all our allowances we don't pay, they are not subjected to tax, EPF, and SOCSO. So you may change to your policy, but it's on your own responsibility. Because here, when we do our payroll, we follow the government rulings. So like general allowance, we know if it is general allowances, you have the allowances are subjected to this all statutory. So it's defaulted already. The boxes are defaulted to tick already. But if you want to change, then when you change it, you can untick this, but it's at your own risk lah. Okay. If it's a fixed amount, then you click fixed amount, then every month it will be repeated that amount. For example, if the general you receive an allowance of 200 each month, so you just click fixed amount. If the allowances is not fixed, let's say just one time and so on, because they're doing some job, then they get the allowances, then you don't click the fixed amount, you just put the amount. The next month, the amount will be defaulted back to 0. Okay, so that is on the additional earnings. For overtime, if you don't use our attendance system, you have to manually add it in your overtime. So what you do is under overtime, you click none, and then it will pop up this box where you add in the hours, so that the system will calculate based on the hours that the employee work for the overtime. So you just need to know where to put in the amount, whether it's a public holiday amount or number of hours that they're working, or they're working on the normal hours after normal working hours. So you add in all this, and then the system will help you to calculate, give you the amount in ringgit Malaysia. Right? Let's say if you don't, because like I said, we have our defaulted allowances there. If you're trying to search for any other allowance that is not within our defaulted one, you can always click more. When you click more, it will show a bit of extra defaulted allowances. If still there is not the allowances is not under our defaulted, then you can always click others. Okay, click add custom payment, and then when you click add custom payment, a box will come out, a new one, so it will call under others. You click in the others, and then you can rename others to whatever allowances that you paid. For example, you're paying attendance allowance. Okay, so you click add custom payment, and then you rename under others, you put attendance allowance, and then you put and then don't forget to always give the settings whether those allowance that you're being paid are subjected to all the statutory payment. If not, then you don't click lah. If it is, then you have to set it. Okay, so that's on the payroll calculator. You see everything inside there. Just now I showed the allowance part. The deduction is about the same. Okay, so the next thing is once, let's say you're onboarding for the first time. So first time onboarding, for example, if you onboard this January, then it's fine because you're starting fresh for the current year. But if let's say you join on March this year, okay, then you have to include salary from January to February under our first time onboarding. Okay, this one is a bit complicated to explain. The reason why we need this is for the calculation of PCB, because as you know, PCB, a formula calculation, it calculates based on current year. Okay, that means from January to December 2022. If you onboard with us on in March, that means you will be calculating starting from March. So January and February, maybe you calculated your payroll from other system or manually. So we need that information for January and February to be also included in our system, so that we know what is your earnings for January and February, so that it helps to calculate the PCB formula calculations for the whole year. All right, so this one is a bit extra. Kalau if you join now with our system, then it's okay. You don't need to go for first time onboarding because you started your salary in January. Okay, but if later on, then you would need our hub to help you to add in all this information. Okay. All right. So what else is this? This is OT work hours. Okay. Besides the first time onboarding, we also have under import the monthly payroll data. If you choose monthly payroll data, then you can download a template where in Excel format, it will show the employee name and then location, what is the employee earning, and then some of the information for the defaulted punya payroll calculator. For example, you want to add in overtime hours. If you do one by one here, then it will be painful. So we have a way for you to do it in bulk. So what you need to do is just go to the monthly payroll import, under import monthly payroll data, you download the template, and then from the Excel template, you can add in the hours here. Once you add in all the employee hours here, then you can upload into the system. Then system will pick up. So you don't have to do one by one at payroll calculator. You can always upload into from Excel. Okay. This is to ease your working, your ways how to add into the system. Okay, the next one is deductions. So these are the statutory deductions or statutory contributions. All right. So here under our payroll calculator, under the deductions, it has already been set according to the government's rules or other under the statutory rulings. Okay, for EPF, this one is the old one. I'm sorry, I should have used the new one. Is 9 or 11%. Okay, so if you're paying 9, then you choose 9 lah. If you're paying 11, then you choose 11. Then system will auto calculate based on the information of your payroll. Also SOCSO and EIS. So all this is calculated based on this one, whether sorry, not this one, this one, based on this. If you enable the subjected, then it will include in the system, and then it will give you the amount correctly here. Okay, to find out what it is, you can always check back with the table. Okay, the last one, sorry, this is the statutory. The next one is the PCB. Okay, as you can see under the PCB, we have two boxes here. If you click both, then the system will calculate based on table. Table calculation is a bit is based on the jadwal, the table that government give. If you untick this table base, if you untick this table base, okay, you disable this and you maintain this, then the system will calculate based on formula calculation. So there are two different calculation. That one is another chapter lah, but you can calculate both. Usually table-based calculation is much simpler calculation. It's based on the monthly earnings of the employee. The PCB formula calculation is based on the yearly calculations, calculations of the employee. So it predicts what the employee would receive within the year based on the current earnings that they have. Okay, so yes, Wilson.
Okay, basically what Nizam is saying here is for the calculation of the income tax. All right, I'm sure that a lot of people currently they are using the ePCB system based on IOHDN website. So if you don't use the table-based calculation, then basically the system will calculate based on the ePCB. But if you click the table-based calculation, then the system will take the maximum amount of calculation based on the table that IOHDN website have provided. Correct, Nizam?
Yes, correct. Okay. Okay. Let's continue on. The PCB. Okay. The next one is the other deductions available. For example, like CP38. If you receive CP38 from instruction from LHDN, then you can add in the amount here. If you're paying zakat, if the employee wants to deduct zakat, and then you can add all those amount here. And then once you've done all those things, then you can calculate. Then the system will calculate all the employees' payroll for that particular month. Once the payroll is finished calculating, then you can always click view report under the payroll page, and then you will see the view the payroll summary. Okay, so here are the payroll summary. Once you click the last part, the view report, it will generate the payroll summary. So here under the payroll summary, you can see all those employees payroll information. For example, the name of employee, basic they receive, and then if there are any additional amount. If you click the plus sign here, it will expand into more details of the employee payroll. So if you're paying additional like allowances and all that, so under here additional pay, it will list out all those information of the additional money that they receive. For example, overtime, what do you call that, commissions and all that. It will be shown under the additional pay. But of course, in the in this payroll summary, it will show the total amount. And then, of course, again, EPF, for example, here is paying 70 from EPF employee. So all these are for the employee amount. The contribution for employer will be shown here on this side. So all this are being calculated, and you have your net pay amount here. So once you check every payroll summary here, you need to double check lah what you have calculated. And then if you have finally checked it, then you can confirm the amount that this is the amount that you're going to pay for that particular month. For example, for this one, I'm doing for August 2020. So I confirm the amount, and the amount will be saved into our system, right? So once you confirm the amount, once you click confirm all amount here, okay, a pop-up will come out, and then it will ask you, please confirm the calculations are correct and payment is made on which date. So you can choose any date. For example, let's say you're going to pay on the 26th. So you choose pay on to, you put a date 26. So that in the payslip, it will show that this payment is being paid on the 26th. And then, of course, your bank tax file and all that will also show the crediting date is on the 26th. Of course, you have to send the tax file before 26 lah. Okay, so once you add in the payment date, okay, you just click confirm amount. Okay, so once you confirm the status of the employee, this status will change into this status. Okay, that means if you see the status change to this one, send payslip, then that means it has been confirmed into the system. So that is the amount that you're going to pay. If you need to change, if you have not made payment yet to the bank or send the tax file to the bank, then you can still make changes. If you want to make changes, you go to more actions, you unconfirm back those employees that you want to change. For example, you have 20 employees, you confirm everybody, but then you realize one person is wrong. The calculation is wrong. You have not added the allowances that they're supposed to receive. So what you do is you go to the view payroll summary, this part, and then you go to more actions and you unconfirm for that person only. And then you make changes and then you reconfirm back. Okay. So you don't have to run the calculation for all 20 again. You just go for those employees that you want to make changes on. Okay. So once you've done all that, you confirm, you have confirmed everyone, then you can have your final report by clicking these two, either export all data or export only confirmed data. So then it will turn out an Excel report for your payroll. Okay. Then you can keep your as a record lah for that one. Okay. for your payroll monthly. So what you have finished, you have confirmed your payroll. Okay, now what you need to do is make payment to the bank. So once you confirm, then only you can make payment to the bank. Okay, to make payment to the bank, you go to the bank details here. Okay, under the pay statutory and salary via bank portal. Okay, you choose which bank you're paying. So we have like 16 or more banks that we have tax file that we can generate on behalf of your company. Okay, so if let's say you're using mBank, then you just choose mBank and then click proceed. Okay, and then once you click proceed, then you have a text file will be downloaded to your PC or laptop. Okay, any banks lah. Okay, so each bank has different text file. So you just need to choose whichever bank that you are using. Okay. Okay. For the statutory, okay, EPF, LHDN, SOCSO, and all that, you can download the text file directly from our menu here. Okay, you just click pay EPF, and then you download the EPF form text file, and then you can go to EPF website portal, and then from there you can make the payment by uploading the text file that you just download from our system. Okay, there is a guide for each statutory. So here you can see on the fourth line, kakitangan.com guide in paying EPF online. So you can click that and you can find out how you make payment to the respective statutory website. Okay, so now you have run your payroll, you save into the system, you already make payroll transfer to your bank, and then you have made payment to the statutory. So you have completed your payroll cycle for the month. So basically you calculate the payroll, run it, save it, and then you make the payment to your employee, send the pay slip, then you make payment for the statutory, okay, before the 15th. So you've done, you completed. So the next thing is under payroll is your EA form. So here we can also generate EA form for your company. Okay, so what you need to do is just go to payroll, and then under payroll you can see the forms menu there. You click forms. Under the forms you can see EA forms, E form, CP21, CP22, CP22A. So there's a lot of forms there that can be used for your payroll officer if they need to use it lah. Okay, basically if you using our system for the whole year, your EA form is ready to be generated already. Okay, even the forms E also ready to be generated, right? So what you do is then you click EA form, then you can choose the employee. You just click download for that employee, or if you want to send to all employee, you download from here. Download EA forms in one PDF. So it will download all the EA form under one PDF that you can print out and you can send to the employee. Or if you don't want to print out, you just click send to email, and then each employee will receive an email. They just need to click a link there, and then they will see their own EA form, and then they can print their own EA form. Then it will save company cost on printing out all those things and then giving out. You just send email, they need it, then they want it. If they want to print it, then they print it themselves. Otherwise, they have the file already. The next thing is besides EA form is form E. So again, under forms, you just click form E, and then our system will generate the form E, and you have all those information. You can go if you are aware of download. If you are aware of CP8D, so CP8D is E form information that are required by LHDN. So you can download the CP8D, and then you go to LHDN website, and then you can upload the CP8D information to LHDN. So it's that easy. You don't have to send out forms of e-form to the LHDN anymore. All you can do through online. Right. So that's on payroll. Okay. I know payroll is a lot to process. If you need help, you can always call our support. You can always email our support through support@kakitangan.com. Okay. Okay. Next, I want to move to claims. Claim setting. All right. First, you go to the menu and then go to claim setting, and then you click the settings lah. Of course, from the settings page, you can choose your category, and then we have a defaulted claims category within our system. But if you don't want to use it, then you can always delete it and create your own category. So you click add category, and then you can put in your own category of claims that you want to add into the system. Okay, so you click add category, and then a page will come out, a pop-up will come out. Then you just put a name towards the category. For example, transport claim. And then under description, you can put petrol, tolls, and so on. Or if you want to separate it individually, also can. You put name and then put petrol claims, and then description you put anything, and then you can put toll claims, and then you put some of the description or information that you want the employee to see. And then within the category of the claims, you can put a transaction limit to it, whether it's per transaction, the limit monthly or yearly. So for example, like if let's say you have a petrol claims, okay, employee can make petrol claims monthly not more than 500. Then you click here, and then you put 500. So that means whatever claims that you do within that month, if it exceeds then 500, then it will bounce back the claims submission. If not, then it will pass through. So it's the same with the yearly also. Okay. So the next one is notify approvers when a claim is submitted. So if you enable this, then each time the employee submit a claims, then of course they will receive an email, and the employer or the reporting manager have to act on it. It's just like the leave, but this one we give you an option whether to send notification or not, because our claims is per transaction. So you imagine if you have 10 employees doing claims, each employee have 10 claims, so that would be 100 emails inside. So sometimes you don't want that, so we can disable the notification email. The managers can go directly to the claims page, and then they can see all the claims there without the notification for them to approve the claims, right? Then allowing claim submission without attachment. So this is up to you, but by default, all our claims need attachment, right? This is to prove that the claims is legit, right? Include claims for terminated employee. Okay, if you include this, then the employee, let's say they resigned last month, but their claims are still there, then you can always enable this. Then the employee still can make the claims for last month claims that they did before they resigned, right? Of course, and then you have your cut-off date of claims. You can set this. I mean, this is straightforward. You can also set up a custom field for this one, these claims. Okay. For example, you have a project under it, so you can set up a custom field under project. So let's say project A, and then each time the employee make a claims, they can attach this to that project. For example, petrol, I'm claiming for petrol for project A, and then you know lah, this claims is under project A. Then you can segregate all this project by project. Of course, currency symbol, you have Malaysian ringgit and others currency also. The next one is you can also set a mileage claim. You can put amount to the mileage claim. For example, let's say car claims. Okay, mileage claims. Sorry, mileage claims for car. Then you can put a rate per kilometer. For example, 70 cents. So you just put 70 cents for car claims. Okay, mileage claims for a car. And then the employee doesn't need to calculate it. They just need to put the mileage that they wanted to claim. Then the system will calculate the amount of that mileage claims. Okay, specific claims limit. Okay, this one is for sometimes you have a limit. Okay, that limit is works for everyone. For example, okay, for medical benefit, everyone will receive 500 per year. But then for specific person, employee or specific group, you can raise that limits to another level. So what you do is you go to this settings, specific claim limits, and then if the employee, let's say your bosses or your director, so you can identify that person. For this person, the medical benefit is 1,000. So you can add it here so that it has a different limits for that person only. So it will override the limits for everyone else in the company. Right. Approval workflows. Okay. Approval workflows in our system, you can assign approval, because usually claims there are many person that are involved in approving it. It's not like leave usually very straightforward. The person who reports to is the one approving. But for claims, because of it involves money, sometimes it goes different way for the workflow for the approval. So here we can set the approval workflow as per your policies. Okay, for example, claims submitted by the employee, the first approver is the direct manager. The second approver would be the HR maybe. And then the third approver will be the finance, who is finalizing it whether to pay or not. So you can make all this approval workflow within the claims, right? So what you need to do is just add claims approver, and then you add whether direct manager, claims admin, or you can put a name towards it, meaning to say for this person, it will override the direct manager or claims admin. It goes straight to the CEO, or for example okay, you can also create that, okay, within the approval workflow. So yes, that would be the final settings for claims. So your claim settings is done. So how do you make claims in our system? So claims in our system, you have two ways to do it. One is through web, that means your PC or web browser. The other one is through your mobile claims. Mobile claims, we have an apps for it. So you can use mobile apps to make your claims, which is far more easier than using web claims, because you have your attachment. If you're using web claims, you're using your PC, then you have to scan the document first before you make your claims. But if you use mobile apps, you can use your phone to capture the receipt and then submit the claims. It's much more easier. So here are the steps to do it. You just go claims, new claims, same thing like this. Then you just add in all this information and then you submit the claim, right? Once the claim is submitted, it will show in the claims list who's going to approve. So here, pending approval, you can always go to you can mouse over it, and then it will show who is this person and who is this person, the claims approval. So the claim the employee can always see, oh, okay, my direct manager has not approved, because the next person will be finance. So you can always push you call your direct manager or email them, my claims has not been approved yet, and so on. Okay, so these are the claims list. So approval can act upon it. So if you set it by the workflow by hierarchy, then it will go to the next person. So it will go first to the direct manager. After the direct manager approve it, then only it will jump into the next person. Okay, so it all basically depends on the workflow of the claims, right? Then after everyone has approved it, okay, then you can settle your claims. You can choose settle claims, whether you're going to pay cash to the employee, you're going to transfer it to the payroll, or you're going to make a bank transfer itself, or you're going to pay by check or company credit. So you can choose all these claims, how you want to settle the claims. Usually it's either bank transfer or payroll lah. Very rare company using check nowadays, or company credit number. So if you use bank transfer, you just click bank transfer, and then same thing like payroll, you select the bank that you're going to transfer, and then you upload the text file. If you're going to pay through payroll, you just click payroll, then immediately the claims information will be pumped into payroll. But of course, you have not paid your payroll yet lah for that month, so you have to synchronize your claims and your payroll workflow on that. Okay, so once you settle claims, then it will tell you lah the status, whether it paid by bank transfer, paid by payroll, or whatever yang you choose from here. Okay, so that means it's settled, and then within the this function here, this here, it will show settled claims paid through by what. Okay, so just now here is yang I told you, you can make payment to bank if you want to choose. So what you do is, once you approve everyone claims are being approved, and then you just click export to bank pay file. So what you do is, after you bank pay file, then you download the text file for you to upload into the bank. Okay, how to submit claims on mobile apps. So here, this is the mobile apps version. So you just go to claims here, and then plus sign, and then you add in those information. Okay, this information. Okay, and then part on the select attachment. When you choose select attachment, you can just go to a camera and then a snapshot with your mobile camera, and then you can submit. It's that easy. And then you can always monitor your claims through your mobile apps also, and you can see, okay, these are the claims that has been paid already. These have been approved but not yet paid. These are still pending. So you can always monitor your claims through your mobile apps. Okay, so that is on claims. Very straightforward. The last module is attendance. Okay, we call it HADE. That means attendance in English. Okay, so here our attendance is basically mobile version, right? So you have to download our mobile apps in order for you to use the mobile apps clock in and clock out. Okay, setting is done in the web browser. Okay, so here is how you create your shift, assign your staff, and then how to clock in out, and then your attendance record, and of course how you set everything lah. Okay, first thing you need to do when you using our attendance is to create the shift. Create a shift, you just go shift scheduling and then create a new shift. So once you go to create new shift, this is the table here. You name your shift, then what is the clock in time and clock out time, and then valid from when to when, and then repeat for which month, and then you can give a description, right? So once you've done that, and then you need to set also for the compensation, whether you within that shift, are you paying for allowances or not? If not, just leave it blank. Okay, and then are you paying for overtime? So overtime, then you put an overtime rate for that particular shift. Okay, it's 1.5, whatever. And then you can put a maximum overtime duration for that particular shift. For example, you put 180 minutes. So whatever yang beyond that, it will be calculated. It will be calculated at 180 minutes for that shift, right? Then the next one, you've already said whether it has other monetary attachment towards the shift, whether allowances or not, and overtime. The next one is, or whether you want to make that shift mandatory. When they clock in, they have to take a selfie of themselves to prove that they are the one who are clocking in. And then the location also. So here our attendance is based on geo-tagging, okay, geolocation. So you can always tag the location for that shift. For example, that shift, for that shift is in the HQ office. So you can put the location for that, your office. If you have a branches or people that work in a different place, like you have restaurant, you have a few outlets, then you can put a location for that outlet. Okay, so if the employee is within the location in the area, then only the system will allow to clock in. Otherwise, it won't allow the clock in. Okay, so here you can pin the location. Okay, you can type in your address here, and then if it's correct, and then you just add location, right? So on the location, you can use also radius. Okay, sometimes your location, you want to expand it a little bit because of you know, sometimes people parking in the a bit far away from the office. Okay, so you can expand, and you can also shrink the location radius. Maybe 100 meter from the office is considered as clock in already, or 50 meter. It's up to you. So you can always edit your radius. Okay, so once you've done that, all that, you completed the shift. Okay, you created the shift already lah. So okay, now the shift has been created. This is the shift, this is the time, this is the day, whether it's other pay rate ataupun whether you have allowances fixed to it, and so on. Okay, so these are the shift that you have created. Now you need to assign that shift to your employee. So what you need to do is, under the shift that you have created here, then you just click here, assign shift. Okay, and then you can start choosing who will be on this shift. Okay, so once you create, you assign that shift, and then you save, and then the employee name will show here under the roster. Okay, so like this person, Kenyan, is working from 7 to 7 in the morning. This person is working from noon. So you have created all your roster. Okay, then how do you clock in once the shift and the roster is assigned? Basically, you go to your mobile apps. When you click on the Hade, which is here, okay, you just click the icon here, and then it will bring you to the mobile apps, sorry, into this page, and then you can see your information. Okay, good morning, put that this is the employee, and then clock in status is still red, meaning they have not clocked in yet. So if there are a lot of shifts, then they can choose the shift and so on. Okay, if these are the shifts that they're supposed to work, then they can click view shift, and then if it's true, then they can start enable this. That means they clock in. Okay, so if that is the shift that they are supposed to be in, and then they can click clock in. So clock in will detail out the employee location. Okay, clock in status, red is out of clock, that means they tak clock in. Green is once they clock in into the shift. Okay, if the shift is assigned to you, it will be visible. Okay, and then you can always swipe if you have a lot of shift. For example, you have shift A, shift B, shift C, then you can always look and check all those shifts, whether you are assigned to it or not. Okay, once after you clock in, And then it will give you the information. Okay, if you are late, then they will tell you lah, this shift started 17 minutes ago. Then you know you are late clocking in already. And then you are approximately 6.77 kilometers. That means he is far away. This one is an example for those that you don't set your location. Okay, so if you are set to the location, it will tell you lah, you within 500 meter or 200 meter or exactly at the place that you are supposed to be. So all this information will be shown in the map here once you clock in. Okay. Bila you dah you clock in, then system will ask you to take a selfie to prove that you are that person that is clocking in. Okay. Because we don't want sometimes people give they are somewhere else, they call their own phone and then somebody pick up, hey, can you clock in for me? I'm still downstairs, I'm having breakfast or something like that. So they need to take selfie, then they just take selfie lah. Okay, so you can also monitor your staff break. We have a icon called start break and stop end break, so that you know if your staff go out, and then one of your policy is if you go out, then you have to punch in your break time, so that bila they comes in, when they comes in, whether they take a long lunch break or something. So you can also monitor that from our attendance system. Okay. Then once you've done all those things, then dia akan bagi tahu lah. So this is clock in status, clock in at 8:45. Of course, they can work for a second. Once they clock out, they can bagi tahu lah. This one, you work for 8 hours or 10 hours whatsoever. So that is on the mobile apps. All this information then will be recorded in the attendance record. So this is where the admin will monitor all those clock-in done by the employee. They can always see under today's attendance. Then they will see, okay, these are the people who's still not clock in. Then they can go to present and then see all those employee that has clocked in, whether they late clock in or whatsoever. And then they can see all the details here lah, right? So once the employee, let's say for the next day, the supervisor can always check back whether the employee did clock out yesterday or not, whether they are in the correct shift or not. All this information they can always look back under the attendance record, and then those who follow the requirement, it will be auto approved. Those who doesn't follow the requirement, the status will be pending and waiting for the supervisor to take action. For example, let's say they come in so late, maybe 2 hours late, then it will not be auto approved in the status. It will need a supervisor action to take for the status, whether to approve or to do what you call that, deductions for the employee and so on. Okay, so absent also, these are the person you can take. You can have the report for those who is absent for that particular day. Okay, so how to edit attendance record? These are the icon that you can look at, and then you can adjust it or edit it accordingly. So if you need adjustment, admin only can do those adjustment. Okay, so even the supervisor cannot do the adjustment. Only admin, only one person can make those things. Unless you give the authority to the supervisor also, then only they can make. But my advice is don't let so many people handle this attendance, because it will be messy later on. Right. Settings for the attendance system, you can set your shift selection. If you do a mandatory shift selection, then employee with multiple shift have to choose which shift they are supposed to clock in. If there are only one shift, then you don't have to click a mandatory shift selection. Ignore early clock in. You know, sometimes people, they clock in at 9 a.m. sorry, in the morning, but they want to avoid jam and all that. They come in and then they clock in at 7 a.m. If you choose to ignore early clock in, then system will take 9 a.m. as the clock in, even though they clock in at 7. It will be recorded at 7, but the calculation will ignore the early clock in. Okay. What else? Okay. Rounding up the policy, whether they want to calculate 15 minutes, 30 minutes according to the time block lah. Okay. This is for calculations for overtime or overtime. Okay, and then rounding policy, as it mentioned here, you can round up it. If you round up the setting, the policy, if you round it up, and then 8 hours 50 minutes becomes 10 minutes, there becomes 9 hours and so on. Okay, sorry. If no rounding, if let's say it's 8 hours 42 minutes, then 10 minutes it will round up to 50. If you round up to 50 minutes, 42 become 45, and so on. Okay, round down is the same also. So that's the function for rounding up. Auto approval, as I mentioned tadi, for your attendance record, if you follow all these rules, then the system will auto approve for you. But if you don't, then it needs a supervisor or admin action to act on it, whether to approve it or not. If the employee follows the correct clock in, clock out, and then work less than 50%, all that, then it will have to be acted for supervisor to make the adjustment. Okay, cut-off date. I mean, everything, every module have cut-off date. It's the same for every module. And then how to streamline with the system. Okay, under the payroll, like I said just now, if you go under payroll settings, if you link it with our attendance system, then system will pick it up. And then here it will calculate whether pay by attendance or not under the user profile. If the company is, if the employee is being paid daily, then you choose here daily, then salary per day, and then pay by attendance. If you put yes, then it will link to the attendance system. It will calculate every day clock in, clock out of that employee, and then it will pump into the payroll. Yep, that's it. That's the last slide. Any question? Wilson, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Nizam. Yeah. All right. Basically, there are quite a lot of functions that you can use in our Kaki Tangan system. Choose the one that suits you the best, and then subsequently, if you have any questions, you can always ask us. You can send your inquiries to support@kakitangan.com. And if you want to talk to our salespeople, of course, you can also contact them at 012-466-6321. So I'm typing over here, all right, on the addresses, yeah, the email address, and as well as the phone number. Okay, so you can contact us on these numbers. If you need to subscribe to one of the packages, then you can call the sales, or if you need help on technical, then you can contact support. Okay, any questions so far? Mr. Ogura, Nurul Amira, Linz, Zianti, Tracy, all right, Naomi, and I think it's Doreen, yeah, Ivan, and Safwan. Any questions so far? Okay, no, Zianti, right, thanks. Tracy, no, thanks. All right, okay, Doreen, thanks, no. Naomi, okay, no problem. Safwan, okay, thank you. Ogura-san, yeah, thank you. Nothing, right? Lin, nothing, yeah. Okay, so seems like it's quite a simple way to use the system. You just need to use it like 1 or 2 times, and after that you will get it easier. You'll become easier for you. You get used to it already. Okay. All right. So if that's the case, then we will end the training session for today. And feel free to contact us again. We hope you enjoy using our system. Okay. Thank you so
Right.
much.
Thank you,
All right.
guys.
So yeah, the training is end. You can leave the meeting. Thank you, Zianti. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you.